Let's head to California. So, like I said, let's head to California. Job that pays $30,000. Going 300 300 miles. Yeah, I think it's worth going to Cali. I would not go there for 28,000 when I can go here for 30. But let's go get the truck. Watch, I have to back up in the same exact spot. Nope, not the same spot. One thing that's always kind of irritated me about this game, um, when you complete a job and you have the option to look at what's available from the company, I was parked down yonder, and now to pick up the load, I'm gonna have to park here. Granted, I didn't pick it from directly the company. After dropping off the cargo, I went to the cargo market. So, that is, it is what it is with that. But it's still rather annoying. Could have probably done this in one try. It is getting dark. Yay. So I need some fuel. Well, I don't need it at the moment, but I will need some fuel. Um, is there a fuel stop on the way? Yes, actually there is. Um, there's Kenworth dealership there too. And a garage. Nice. Um, hmm. You know what? There's a fuel station just down the road from here. It's a little bit of a backtrack, but it'll be fine. Scratching my eye, not paying attention. This truck is powerful enough that I can pull out in front of someone and not really care. You know, I just realized that I did the exact opposite thing that I meant to do. Oh, well, there is a fuel station up the road a piece from here. I'm pretty sure I got enough fuel to make it all the way to my destination, but it might be pushing it, so I am going to get fuel before I get into California, that's for sure. If you have to stop, that's the problem. You don't need to be driving. Perhaps I should start putting more ticks into, or whatever, into fuel economy. Or I should just learn how to drive without a heavy right foot, you know. We're doing 50 by the time I get on the actual interstate. Actually closer to 60. See, that's how you're supposed to get on the interstate. You're also not supposed to run over the white lines, but I do, because controller. Must be one of my trucks. I'm kind of curious how much money I could possibly make if I had about a dozen garages. How much money would I make in a single week? And we'll find out soon enough, I guess. I need some fuel, so that's what we're stopping to get. I don't think it's 100% necessary to get fuel now, but better safe than sorry, right? You wouldn't necessarily see big trucks like this pull into a regular fuel station like cars and trucks do. Ouch. 3.58 a gallon. That sucked. I can't see a damn thing. I'm gonna go this way. I want to discover the recruitment agency and a Kenworth dealership. And it's also exploring the map a little bit, Is this taking me back to... okay. I didn't even realize I was in Phoenix. That would explain why there's a shop here. Well, garage, if you will. Is this actually necessary? No, not really. There's a good chance that I end up buying the garage here in Phoenix. Yeah, this truck really likes to go. Again, I'll be doing the speed limit before I even hit the interstate, honestly. There's a red light, isn't there? Of course there is. Yay, hate red lights. If I get a fine for this, it's bullshit. I'm thinking about getting the more realistic traffic mod, or traffic density mod, or whatever, which would make getting in and out of places a little more difficult, a little more challenging. Also be a little more realistic, honestly. Didn't even realize that the speed limit changed. Anyway, the reason that I'm thinking about getting that mod or a mod like that is the interstate is dead, right? Like, granted, it is 11 p.m. I get that, you know. And in real life, a lot of people would be asleep at home or in a rest area, hotel, whatever, and not driving at night. But during the day, it's just like this during the day. It's the same during the frickin' day. So, like, I've seen two big trucks go by. Not really paying attention. Alright, car, either go or stop trying to pass so I can go. I should have just stayed in the left lane, to be honest with you. Actually doing speed limit. It's kind of rare. Let's do 73. It'd be nice if he would hurry the hell up and get in front of the truck so I can go by. Well, Sir Truck has to slow down because of slow traffic. Which is fine by me. Anyway, traffic density. Like, during the daytime, it's kind of crap. At night, it's, you know, probably a little realistic, but I don't know for sure. I don't really get on the interstate at night. And in game, I actually prefer to drive during the daytime because the nighttime sucks. Unless you put your brakes on. Why is it 45 on a frickin' interstate? An inspection of some kinds. Really? So, what am I doing? Oh, right, I'm in California. That's right. I'm crossing into California, where they want to make sure that everything is to their standards. Now, it may sound like I'm bashing California and stuff, and I guess for the most part I am. Um, yeah, California sucks. Not gonna lie. From all the stories I've heard from people that I know that moved from there, it's just like, why would anyone want to live there? Why would anyone want to bring that to somewhere else? You know what I mean? So, I guess I should give a little context to what I'm actually talking about. The newer diesel trucks, like this Volvo, for example, it would never have a 3406. Why are you costing me money? Anyway, I'm going through a border crossing in Mexico or something. Anyway, so I've had several friends tell me stories about moving from California and how horrible California is. Um, but this one friend of mine in particular used to be a diesel mechanic for 35 years. 35 years. Diesel mechanic. And the EPA, which is something out of California, or CARB or whatever, one of the emissions environmentalist bullshit, decided that we needed diesel exhaust fluid, or DEF, right? To cut down on emissions. Okay. On top of that, we have the EGR valve, which is exhaust gas recirculation system or something like that. Um, really? Really? I swear. Anyway, got EGR valves, which take the exhaust gas that's not burned, which is a good thing. Don't get me wrong, it is actually a good thing to a certain extent, and recirculates it, puts it back through the intake, back through the motor, so that it can, you know, try to burn that unburnt fuel, which is what the black smoke is coming out the tailpipes. And that kind of chokes the engine. Well, then after the GR valve, there is a DPF filter, diesel particulate filter, or whatever. I'm not sure if all of this emissions crap is on the same thing. Kind of sure, pretty sure it is. But essentially, what happens is the motor gets choked, and it stops running after 150,000 miles. Really? Trucks 55, everyone else 70. Alright, I may or may not leave California via quick travel. Screw this. Anyway, the way that he explained it is the new trucks with the new emissions motors or engines, fully compliant, they don't last. He said he worked on a truck, brand new Peterbilt, 379 from like the late 80s or something like that, on up to like 2010. And it ran flawless all the time. Can I go faster than this, please? Trucks 55 mile an hour. Anyway, he explained it to me that, trying to remember what he said. The newer motors, while that truck with a 3406B in it had 1.7 million miles on it, a newer truck, really, car, I'm getting over, you can hit my trailer, I don't care. I forget what model engine it had in it, but it was like a Cat C15 or something like that. He said it broke down every 20,000 miles. Almost on the dot every 20,000 miles. Something would go wrong with it. Turbo went out at 47,000. He said, which that's not a lot of miles for a big truck. It's not a lot of miles at all. Now, I can't confirm any of this. It's just from what my buddy said. And, you know, working as a diesel mechanic for 35 years, he might know a thing or two. He worked on small regular trucks too, like you know pickup trucks. He was a general diesel mechanic, not just big trucks, anything diesel. So 18 wheelers, pickups, heavy equipment, you know that kind of stuff. He was uh, not really a mobile mechanic, but not necessarily a shop mechanic. Kind of both. That's pretty cool. But he said one of the worst examples of diesels being essentially choked to death is going from a 12 valve Cummins to the new 6.7 liter Cummins. It doesn't die nearly as bad as like the Power Strokes do, apparently, and the Duramaxes, but it still gets choked to death. He said he worked on a old 7.3 Power Stroke, and it ran until the rods literally flung out of the block. And it still ran even after the rods come out the block. It didn't run very well, but you know, it slings a rod and just keeps on going. They don't care. Got a hole in the oil pan the size of a piston? Nah, I don't care. Don't need no oil. Sometimes I use my blinker, sometimes I don't. Most of the time, I don't. Because it's a little bit obnoxious, in my opinion. And it's a video game, nobody else uses their blinker anyway, so, whatever. Of course, I say that as someone will use their blinker next time I'm on the road, you know. That's how that goes. But yeah, my buddy was telling me about that stuff, and he's like, it's all California's fault. Because they want this, that, and the other for the emissions. Because they want to do, you know, the whole green energy and all this other crap. That, I mean, is a good thing, right? But they want it to be forced on regular people. And instead of, you know, actually being able to handle the motors or whatever, they make these dumb regulations where, oh, you can't have a 12 valve in California anymore because it smokes too much. Or you can't have a 3406 cat because it smokes too much. You know, that kind of stuff. Even though they don't smoke. I am not going in the right parking spot. That's fine. One of the weirdest spots to park a trailer. There we go. It's getting paid, so I'm fine. Did that level me up? No, it would not have leveled me up. Nope. Great job offers. Tucson, Truckee. Wow, they're paying crap. I'll probably end up taking the job from them anyway, but, yeah. All the way to Roswell. Holy crap, $58,000? Yes, please. Or to Grand Junction. This one's 3 minutes less than that one. That's hilarious. All the way to Fresno. Carson City. Phoenix. Yeah, I could do the one for Phoenix. In the next video, of course. Yeah, I didn't really finish my story on the whole, like, carb emission bullcrap, but I'd have to get my buddy on here sometime and do like a convoy with him to get him to explain what all he told me about it. But he said it was absolutely horrible. Like, it's ruined so many diesel engines that would otherwise be on the road still today. So, yeah. Anyway, that'll do it for this video. If you liked the video and made it to this point, do me a favor, hit the like button and leave me a comment. Let me know what you actually thought. And, yeah. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the little bell icon so you get notified when I upload videos, and share with your friends. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.